National Agricultural Commodities Project has commended President Bola Tinubu on his recent State of the Nation address. The group says the president's address showed leadership, responsibility, and accountability alongside empathy, however, suggests areas which should be included in the economic plans. Lara Folayo reports.
Following protest by Labour, the president addressed the nation, sharing palliative plans to support businesses, the working class, and the most vulnerable, as well as policy interventions to check rising inflation and ensure exchange rate stability. The president also made known plans to ease transportation costs, boost manufacturing, and enhance food supply while working to ensure affordable food prices. The National Agricultural Commodities Project now commends the efforts of government to kickstart sustainable economic growth and improve productivity, which would definitely revive Nigeria's sluggish industrialization and expand the GDP. It, however, wants more enterprises included in the business funding plan beyond the target 75. The group as well seeks that government closely monitors the banking sector in the provision of the promised loan facilities so that the rates do not exceed 9%.
The government will need to closely monitor the banking sector in the provision of these loans facilities so that the eventual cost of funds is not above 9% from the banking fees and charges. It may be judicious to stipulate that the total cost of funds in benchmark to 9% regardless of the charges and fees.
The group is glad that grains from the strategic reserves will be released to households and that support for agriculture, including farmland cultivation, will be a priority, but wants to assist with the planned distribution of seeds for easy access and equitable distribution to its members, which constitutes the bulk of target beneficiaries. It is as well concerned that nothing was said about security, farmers and herders clashes, which is a critical factor in national development.
These plans demonstrate that the president is listening to Nigerians. The president covered most of the strategic sectors of the economy, but nothing was said about security, farmers and herders clashes, which is a critical factor in national development.
The group also wants development of existing grazing reserves and support for the cultivation of specialized pasture and feeds for livestock in collaboration with willing state governments. This is alongside recapitalizing the Bank of Agriculture to work with commercial banks for the smooth running of the program and facilitating cottage industries and the farming communities to mitigate wastage and gluts during harvest. Lara Folayo, TVC News, Abuja.
And according to the Recruitment and Employment Confederation and Accounting Firms of KPMG, it says the UK hiring witnessed its steepest decline since mid-2020, as employers hired few permanent staff through recruitment agencies due to economic outlook. UK temporary staff hiring usually increases when the outlook is uncertain. But however, it showed the weakest growth in 9 months, primarily as more individuals sought permanent positions. The poll also cited a tough market for job seekers, as their key gauge showed the permanent staff hiring slumped to its lowest since June 2020. In addition to the survey release, Chief Executive of Recruitment and Employment Confederation, Mr. Neil Carberry, cited economic uncertainty as a catalyst for the latest challenges. For the staying outside our shores, according to the report made available, around 80% of Credit Suisse investment banking staff in Hong Kong will be laid off this week as part of the bank's integration with USB Group. Only approximately 20 bankers out of the 100-strong team would be spared from the courts. The integration follows USB's accusation of Credit Suisse in June, aiming to reduce the risk in investment banking operations. Credit Suisse and USB declined to comment on the proposed job cut at the time of this report. USB has laid off employees from Credit Suisse Investment Bank in New York last week. Saudi Arabian state oil giant Aramco has reported a near 38% drop in second quarter net profit, reflecting lower oil prices and thinner margins in refining and chemicals. The Middle East oil giant said its net profit fell by 112.81 billion riyals, that's about $30 billion, from a quarter to June 30, from 181 billion riyals a year earlier, but topped the $29.8 billion expected by 15 analysts in an Aramco-provided poll. Finally, crude oil prices edged down today, but were still near their highest level since mid-April, after top producers Saudi Arabia and Russia pledged to keep supplies down for another month. to tighten global markets further and support prices. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell to sell at $82.50 with a price decline of 0.39%. Brent also experienced a downward price margin of 0.32% to sell at $85.96. And for Bonnie Light, recorded an upsurge of 1.26% to sell at $87.64. And for the OPEC basket, crude dealers are offering $86.66 with an upward price review of 0.07%.